Hello guys, Shu again. I'm back here with more writing questions. So this question actually comes from one of my good friend, client, and co-authors of many of my collaboration projects. It's Julie. If you're watching this, hello Julie. This one's for you, my girlfriend. So Julie asks, how can you build your audience as a writer? How can you build your audience if you do not want to blog? I think there's this misconception that blogging is the only way to build your audience as a writer, or that writing is the only way to build your audience as a writer. There are so many ways to build your audience. For one, I'll say the most people spend a lot of time on social media. I don't even know what the stats are now, but it's some crazy number of how many hours people spend on social media each day. It will blow your mind away. I know I can't remember on the top of my head now, but I know when I was actually in a meeting, training, and someone was reading those stats. I think it was from Forbes or somewhere. It was a meeting for entrepreneurs, and just seeing how or why we should be, as entrepreneurs, we should be spending more time on social media because of that. And so that, take leads me to my first answer here. There's going to be multiple ways you can build your audience, but one of them is being present on social media. And being present doesn't mean you have to write this lengthy post every single day, but sometimes it's just how you're commenting on things that you're posting that relates to your writing, on the things that you're working on. And sometimes people think we also have made this mistake that if I'm going to write a book and publish it, let's say in a month, that I wait until my book is live on Amazon or wherever else I'm publishing it to start talking about it. And no, no, don't do that. You are honestly doing yourself a disservice. You start promoting your book, promoting your work before you do it, before and while you're doing it. Why? Because you're building that buzz, you're creating that momentum. People already know it's coming because they've heard about it so many times. And even as you're sharing it, you don't have to share like this whole lengthy, again, nothing doesn't have to be lengthy. Could be just few sentences like, oh my, I'm so excited about this. I'm writing, to taking you take a picture of you, like, where you're writing, where you like to write, and posting about that, books that you're reading. So you starting your audience start to connect with you, not because of what you're writing yet, but because of the things that interest you, that also interest them, like things that you have in common. So for example, I have a friend who would recently, I helped her publish her book on a book for adoptive and foster parents, and that's the platform, that's the audience, if you want, that she's targeting. That's the people that she wants to support and that connect with through this book. So you start talking about it before the, like, as she signed the contract, or started, kind of have made the deal, like, I'm going to publish it, we talk about it. Then as she writing, new authors are adding a little posts here and there about it. As we do the cover, you kind of share a cover reveal. As the book, as the book is being edited, just a little update. You see what I mean? So like your entire audience, her book went on pre-order, I believe, like what, 3 months, at least it was at least 2 months before the book release. And it had, I don't know, 7 or 8, categories on Amazon as bestseller, as new release, number one, number two. It was just awesome. Because why? You built that momentum as you go. And social media is a very good way to do that. Very great platform. And honestly, most of it is free. Yes, when you start doing more, you can pay for ads and all of that. And I've done that as well. But building the momentum and creating your audience can start as just a free post here and there, and sharing with people what you're writing about, things that are meaningful to you, um, things that relate to the topic that you want to write about even. So that's one way. Is using social media. And I know sometimes people, to have clients, I've met tell me, oh my goodness, sure, you do so much on social media, I don't have time to do all that. And I tell them, I don't have time either. Like, so let's just kind of cut that, or put that aside, because I don't have time either. But it's how strategic I am about doing this. So not only, yes, I have someone who helps create graphics and all of that. Actually, I've no two people who help create graphics and all of that. But also, there's different platforms where you can schedule your post ahead of time. There's Buffer, there's Hootsuite, there is, gazillion. There's Later, that's one's good for Instagram. There's Promo Republic. There's so many apps out there that can help you schedule your posts ahead of time on multiple social media platforms. So as I'm sharing this, I actually had about a month ago, a month and a half ago, over the course of a weekend, in between like taking care of my kids and cooking and eating and hanging out with family and doing fun stuff, like in the evenings and early in the morning, I took time to schedule my post, kind of strategize what I want to cover for the remaining of the year. So yes, I scheduled my post for the last quarter of the year in a weekend. And then yes, it looks like I'm all over the place, things are popping here and there, or like, but I'm not. I am not. There's weeks where I can go a few days without being on social media. Maybe sad, like responding to private messages that I get from my clients or from from friends. So it's all about strategy. So use social media to your advantage. It's there for you, it's free, and I guarantee you, your audience is on there. Honestly, if you're writing and people are reading your writing, most of them are already on social media. And especially and when you get to the point of using social media um, for for how do you call it, ads, for example, on Facebook, you also want to do, that's a whole different kind. I don't do Facebook ads, but I don't teach on Facebook ads. But what I've learned along the way and learned from others and what have worked for me, it's like you want to make sure that you are targeting the right audience, people who are interested in the topic, not just people who like and follow your page, because you might miss out an entire global, worldwide audience that's connected to your theme, to your topic, to your subject, because you're narrowing it down to just people that follow your page. So that's it. Have an online presence, have a presence on social media. Create a Facebook page, author page, not just your personal page, but author page, because you can't do ad. Once you get to a point where you're doing ads, you can't do ads on your personal page. You can do on business page. At least of right now is when I'm making this video. Um, so there's that. But also, if you're like, oh, I don't like being on social media a lot, but maybe you're like me, talking comes easily, it comes natural, it's faster than writing. Start creating videos, uploading them on YouTube. Even you can upload the videos also. YouTube, again, it's free. You can also upload the video on social media. Not only helps people to connect with you, not just because you're writing it, but they get to hear your voice, to see you, and that just create a whole different level, right? The different level of connection. So there's that. But also start connecting with others who are doing the same work as you are. So that's one reason we have the group on Facebook, the Purposeful Writers Collective, so that all of us who are connected to me and who love to write, we can connect on there and support one another. It's amazing when one of us in there has a book launch, others are sharing or promoting the work, the other person's work, just because that's part of, again, part of being part of the collective. That's how we support one another. So you get, if you are connected to like-minded people, you have a group of people who trust you, people who want to see you win, they support you in so many ways. So when one member of the collective shares out another member's blog post or book or graphic about whatever they have coming up, their audience, people who are connected to them, get to see it. You see how you're really stretching your audience without even realizing it? And if their friends see it, their friends also can see it if those people like it or follow it. And then it's chain reaction, a positive chain reaction. It's more people seeing your work and creating more visibility for you. Um, the other thing, the other thing is also looking at, so not just groups that you can be part of online, but also group in person. I know as I'm doing this, we're all dealing with the whole COVID thing, so a lot of in-person things have been canceled, but a lot of libraries have writers group. So some churches even have writers groups, and you get to connect with these people, whether it's once a month, once a week, or even as you're able, you are connecting with people who then again can help you get more exposure, that support you along the way. Now you're learning from them, but the more they support you, the more you get to know them, the more they help you promote your work, and the more you are growing and reaching more people than you could on your own. So we talk about social media, we talk about videos on YouTube, talk about groups, online and offline. The next thing that I'll suggest if you want to grow your audience with blogging is to connect. Again, I know I've been using that word a lot here, but it's meaningful because I think on all of us can only reach so many people. but all of us connected to others can reach even more people. So for one, I'll say the next idea here, strategies, is to actually connect with a coach. And you'll be like, okay, what does a coach have to do with my reach? What does a coach has to do with my audience? Well, here's the thing. I've met a lot of people who published book, wrote books, and or even have somewhat of an online presence, and then they'll be like, "Oh, but it's not doing as great. Nobody sees it. I post things every day." And then we meet, and I'm like, "Okay, I see what you're posting, but to be honest, it's not attracting the right people that you want to see it. Nobody can see it because sometimes you're posting a whole chapter, and some people don't have time on social media to read the whole entire chapter, right? They need little short snippet that attractor, attractor attention, gets their attention. And then there's hashtags that makes things more visible, even on Facebook now. It's more so on Instagram. Um, so there's a different way now when you connect with a coach who, someone who has the experience kind of marketing their work. They can give you a few pointers of how you can tweak what you already have, what you've already been doing to make it better. And some of the clients that we support and helping publish the work, we now even have been scheduling the launch posts, just so that because they see the difference when they post it themselves and when we post it, because how you're presenting stuff, the language is different, the hashtags we put are different, the presentation itself is different, so it catches a whole different audience. And even if we get into Facebook ads, it's again a totally different story. Like it just, like the magnitude of it just kind of multiplies 100 times your reach. um like I have a like the I recently published a book called We All Belong, to one inclusion, acceptance, and kindness. And I we had it on the Facebook page that we but that wasn't as active, and we boosted one post again with the right keywords, the right target audience. And that post alone, I think, reached was it like 6,000 people with $10? Yep, $10. We reached 6,000 people and with one post. But again, it's having the right tools and knowing the strategies and how to do that, right? So I hope all of those things are helpful. The last thing I'm going to say, if you don't want to blog, is try to get on as many podcasts as you can to build your audience. And many of them are free. Like they'll invite you to be part of the podcast for free. So if you're writing a Christian book, reach out to Christian podcasters and tell them, I have this book. It's about faith, help people grow their faith. I just, if I can have 5 minutes in your podcast just to kind of share about the book. And then they want content for the audience. They want to bring fresh ideas and new people. You need the audience to connect to, and bingo, it's a win-win situation. So there you have it. I can go on and on, but I hope this will help. Now, these strategies will help you how to build an audience when you don't want to blog. All right. Thank you guys. Talk to you soon.